The National Student Drama Festival marked the end of a year where I'd failed to put on a production that I'd intended to do called Secrets in Love, which has never come to be. It was destined to be about a young boy who had been a child murderer and killed a little child caught in the back of a car. Um, Later on, other people have had success with this, but we just didn't manage to make it work. My friend Danny Sturrock and Ali had had more success with their productions. Danny winning awards at the at the local drama festivals, and Ali taking her production to the NSDF. So I was feeling kind of, what on earth am I going to do to make up for this? And I don't know what my plans were, but in April, so very shortly after the NSDF, I came across, with this little girl, this is my daughter Daisy, we went shopping to Tesco's and came across this poster, which was a poster saying, as you can see, still missing Dan Nolan. And I remember that January seeing on a dog walk a picture of this boy who had gone missing. And I assumed it had all been sorted out because I'd heard nothing more about it. It hadn't been on the news, literally nothing more about it. And here was a display with all sorts of different posters saying he was still missing. Because I had Daisy with me, I didn't want to join the queue of people that were at this stand that the family had set up. But on the way out, the stand was being taken down and there was a lady there just available. So I said to Daisy, can you hang on? I want to go and talk to this lady. And what the lady told me was that they were trying to get the public involved because there was nothing being done by the authorities. And as you can see from this, these people have gone missing. This young lady, Millie Dowler, was the central feature of all the missing people. There's Dan in a little box, but people weren't noticing Dan's missing. I learned from them that a girl going missing is way more important to the media than a boy. And to cut a long story short, I said, well, I can do a little reconstruction with my youth theatre. That might get on the television. She said it needs much more than that. So I walked away and then said to Daisy, I'm going to go back and talk to this lady. And I said, if I can have a conversation with Dan's mum, I would be prepared, in fact quite keen, to write a play telling the story to try and get it out there. I went to see Dan's family and in Hamble. And as I approached their house, on trees were these posters. And they got bigger and bigger and bigger as you approached Hamble. The final one was absolutely enormous. And I was just in awe of the fact that how would I be if this had happened to me and my children. Dan was 14, and it was just an awful situation. No resolution at all. And as soon as I entered the house, guess what the first thing I saw was? This photograph, but not in this setting. It was his school photograph that was in a frame by the front door. And I thought to myself, gosh, that is what happens. It's a really clear photograph, so obviously people are going to use it. But would I want my school photograph used in such a way and to become so famous? That's what happened. I had a meeting with Pauline, and again, this is quite a long story, but to cut a long story short, agreements were made that I could write a play. And I decided there and then that this needed to be not like the plays I'd been doing more recently, but part fictional and using dialogue that I made up. This needed to go back to Too Much Punch for Judy and be verbatim. These words were from the parents, the people who knew best the whole situation. And I didn't want to be guessing at what they might feel. I saw no purpose in that. But what I also wanted to do was to do it quickly because we needed to get the information out there. They were still searching and they were still hopeful that they may be able to find him. So I conducted interviews with the people who were with Dan that night, who kindly agreed. and they were worried about what the implications of this might be for them, and understandably so. And all the parents of those boys, and Dan's parents, and Dan's sister Claire. And after interviewing Dan's sister Claire, who was only in, I think, year 8 or 7, I thought, gosh, maybe I should have written this from her point of view, but it was too late. We needed to get on. So I went away and really worked very, very hard to get this going. And I also thought, well, there could be professional possibilities, so I'll do this with a cast of 4. And here I found a wonderful group of young people from Oaklands Community School who agreed to give up a whole load of time in the summer holidays so that we could get this on in October or November of that same year. So it was a really quick thing. Alex Chalk, who'd always done comedy work before, was going to play Greg. And what he brought to that part was fantastic, in the way that I remember seeing Norman Wisdom bringing comedy to a guy dying of cancer. He was just the loveliest person to do that. The most empathetic soul, Kate Dean, played Pauline, and beautifully. And if you see the DVD that's been released of their performance, you will see it. She speaks those words with such feeling. Darren played Dan, and again with verve and energy and commitment and just that youthfulness. A wonderful, wonderful performance. And finally Rachel, who has more recently become a drama teacher herself, and I think she now uses the play. She provided a beautiful, youthful spirit, playing Claire and a number of other parts, and both her and Kate had to morph into boys to play the boys because we did multi-rolling. And that group of 4 were an incredibly committed group to come in throughout the summer holidays, performing in the day, and then in the evenings Pauline and the family and the boys' families would come in and watch, and the police came and watched. I mean, it really was a massive commitment. And here they are in costume a little bit later on, ready to do the performance. It captured this was never the intention, but a side effect of it was it captured the attention of the press. There's Dan in a magazine called The Universe. I have no idea what it was. Unique Play hopes to find abducted Daniel. This was in the Daily Star. This again was to do with our play as well as to do with Dan. So it was bringing attention. This was in the Irish Post. Missing Boys story is set for the stage play. So we were genuinely helping the family. Kids performed for Missing Dan in play. And we really felt we were on a mission to do something good. There we are in our local paper, with even me in the picture, hey. And forever now associated with Dan. And I'm thoroughly aware that something that ended up being so successful for us is still heartbreaking reality for the family. We produced a programme. You can see a slight change in the title. Originally it was called Dan Nolan Missing, which was what the situation was. He was a missing boy. And there's some pictures of rehearsals, of them all involved in rehearsals, and a cast list. And what was lovely for me was that my two boys were involved. So Ollie was there doing the technical, and somewhere, where's little Charlie? Isn't he pictured? He took over. There was him and Arjun doing it's called the tabla. It was like a drum thing underneath. And Charlie sometimes did it, Arjun did it. Charlie didn't get his picture in it. He will be very unhappy about that. And the performances we did were greeted with, they were full, absolutely bursting to the seams. People were very keen to see it. And the review that we got is printed on the back of the book that was instantly released. The DBDA did an amazing job to release this so quickly, get out publicity to every school together with one of those Missing Dan Nolan posters. And I'm just going to read you the review that Ben Clarkin wrote from the Southern Evening Echo, because this showed to us we had not only a play that could do some good, but we had produced a fabulous piece of drama as well. This is an extract from that review. "I can't remember the last time I saw a grown man, a stranger, cry in front of me, or for that matter sat in a room of people gripped by mutual sorrow and unspeakable heartache. This play about the tragic evening and that 15-year-old Hamble boy went missing after a fishing trip with friends will haunt everyone who witnessed it. As the tale of a family in freefall unfolded, slowly and silently loved ones sought out each other's hands and clasped them tightly in the darkness to a chorus of staccato sniffs and muffled sobs. The performance is based on real conversations. It's more than based on, it used real conversations and fused into a coherent and powerful dialogue." And again, I was using it as a way of inspiring my young actors to produce performances which I hope they would consider to be probably the best they'd ever give. What better motivation can you have than for the police to be coming in to watch it, than for the mum and dad of this boy who they loved so much coming in to watch it, the mum and dads of boys who were with him on that night. Dreadful, dreadful circumstances for them all to be involved in. And they came in to watch and see how we were managing this piece of truth. It was something that made us work beyond hard. And then we decided to get it further. If we can get it into festivals, and if we get through those rounds, we'll then take it further in the country. So performing initially at Totton and hopefully going to perform in bigger festivals as we progressed. And I'll let you know how we got on in that in the next episode.